Okay, I think I'm live. Just want to make sure everything's okay. Alrighty, so I am live. I'm just gonna go do it right now and let you guys know what's going on with the rideshare culture. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ron from the rideshare culture. I'm live. Happy New Year. Today's January 5th, 2024. So we're already on the fifth day of the year. So looks like somebody's in the room. Not sure who it is. Usually it would have told me. Not sure who it is, but if you whoever was in the room, welcome in. Happy New Year. Alrighty. Title of this is Rideshare 2024. So wanted to tell you why I was on a hiatus from my last video, because I had a lot more work. I do have a real job. I do have not a real job, but I mean I do have a W-2 job. So I was working, and I haven't been on here in a long time. I've been watching channels, but I haven't been able to make a video. But I'm able to make a video now to talk to you guys about what's going on and what's up. So a lot of changes have happened in the latter part of 2023, the ending of 2023. I've seen trips come in on my phone, trips come in other people's phones, where the rates have dropped tremendously, or the offers have dropped, in my opinion, even during our busiest times, which is fall season here in Miami. If you guys noticed, I made a video the last time I made one, which I think about 3 months ago, about Uber Premier and the updated cars. All right. We also saw that Lyft changed their luxury list and they actually took Lux away. And one of the vehicles that I'm in right now, the Tesla Model 3, was a Lyft Lux. It's not even extra comfort as Lyft has it now. So I'm going to talk about that in a moment, about extra comfort and just in general about just Uber and Lyft in general. So the other thing that I did bring up in one of the Facebook groups, I talked about that the beacons. So online, this has been years as well too. This is not new, but online you go to Amazon, you go to Etsy, any of these little shops and online shops, and order an Uber beacon, and you get them in any color, many different colors, and the simple colors and the main ones are usually red. I'm sorry, and blue. There's a lot of red and blue, and then I see a lot of green that's coming up now. So I made a post online on Facebook, and I usually don't post on the Facebook. I usually watch and see. I usually don't put my opinion out there like that, because I let people in the comment section say what they say, and then I just stand back and watch and observe. I usually don't put I put my 2 cents in. But I made a post on one of the Florida groups, because I'm in Florida, and I said, hey, those are tacky. The red and blue ones are tacky, and it's illegal. And I would say that if I did my percentages, 80% of people were not happy with that post, or they were not satisfactory with it. And the reason why, I believe, is because I think maybe they're the ones that are using the beacons. They're using that. And one gentleman, well, I should say one guy, did comment, and he said, well, I should mind my own business. And one other person said, why don't you just post photos like everybody else and keep quiet? And I don't know who these people are. I'm just putting an idea that Uber and Lyft, they have a responsibility of the behavior of the driver. Because as a fellow driver, and I've been driving Uber for 8 years, and I'm coming up saying, hey guys, this is illegal. And it is, because in the state of Florida, the colors of your beacon cannot be a police color. And I will tell you this: a lot of these cars that they have the little Uber beacon, they got two of them. One guy has one of the. I saw one guy with a Highlander. He had it on top frame of his windshield. He had two of them, one up here like that, and then one on that side. as if he was an undercover cop. But when you look closely, it said Uber on it. And I'm like, is that a cop? And the thing is, you're thinking, is that a cop? And it's not. It's an Uber driver. And maybe he hasn't gotten pulled over yet. But there have been Uber drivers I met who got pulled over and got a ticket for it. But the simple idea that I did that on a Facebook group, and there were 70, I would say 70%. I'm sorry, 80% of people were not satisfied with the post because they were telling me to mind my business. I'm not upset at them. I'm just like, the same people that tell me mind my business is the one telling me the ones that are telling me not to tell me what to do are telling me what to do. So Uber and Lyft, they have definitely, I would say, I'll give them 50. I'll give 45% of 45% of it's Uber and Lyft fault. They've created the driver, and I've noticed there were drivers on there that were new, like 6 months, 8 months, and they're disgruntled because other pages, other blogs are so negative about Uber. Um, One example of Uber, really Uber and Lyft, especially Lyft, and I didn't drive Lyft this year because I'm still in my Tesla rental. We'll talk about that in a moment. Um, Lyft were stopped. Not that they stopped, but they said that it was a glitch for them getting the automatic payments out. It was automatic payments that not automatic. I'm sorry, on demand payments, right? Demand payments. You hit the button and goes to your account automatically. And they apparently there was an error notice. I've seen it on the Facebook groups. I've seen it. Vinny Cuz talked about it. Sergio from the RideShare guy talked about it, and Sergio from the RideShare guy, really, really, um, told David Risher, "Hey, man, what do you mean we'll get it right on it? This is 2 years in a row," and it is. I remember last year, 2023, New Year's, same thing happened, and this is before David Risher. And David Risher, I'm not a CEO. I don't know how to be one, but maybe hopefully one day I might be one. Who knows? But especially when you're coming into a company where it's not liked by both sides, customers and drivers are not necessarily happy with Lyft. It has become a kind of like a necessity for people in a way, which is not, because you can still take public transportation. Miami public transportation is not so good, but it's there. Uber, again, same thing with them. Uber has some of their issues. They were not paying as much as they were prior, and there were times where people were like, even for me, I did a little bit of Uber during New Year's, where the surge would be like, I had a premier ride from Kaseya Center, which is in downtown Miami, all the way up to Aventura for $60, with the $15 surge. That actually is a normal ride. It's actually literally 60 by 55 to $60. So only $5 more in the thick of the New Year's. That's Uber. So these companies, that's why I don't want to complain about the company, because you got so many other options out there. You do not have to drive Uber and Lyft. This is not a necessity. And that's why I said before in my other videos, you don't need Uber and Lyft. You want it. Because again, like even for me, I'm doing this because I like to do Uber and Lyft. I like to drive, and not necessarily that I need it, because I can get a second job. I can work from home if I needed to, or if I wanted to. I don't necessarily need Uber and Lyft. But the thing is, I noticed that because this job is so easier to get into, depending on where you are, 90% of the area that you could be in, United States, it's easy to get in. You don't have to pay no fee. You need a 4-door car. You need the year needs to be appropriate. You need gas in the car, or if you have an electric car, you need to make sure your car is charged up. Driver license, clean car. What else? Depending on where you are, inspection of the car, and you're ready to go. And the thing is, when people get so used to the amount of dollars that we're making so easy, Uber was making it easier for us back then, um, to the point where they start doing glitchy stuff with the app. Then we find Uber start saying, "Oh, they had to pay off some hackers to provide the information back and not use the information." Lyft, Lyft doing a lot of weird stuff with the surge, with the bonuses and all that kind of stuff, switching up points and all. It's just too many things they're throwing at drivers who are adults. These are grown people, grown men and women, and you treat them like kids, and that's where it becomes a problem. So, with that being said, my thoughts in the future of 2024 within the month that we have here, and I said it's to all Uber drivers and Lyft drivers. This is a year I believe maybe you kind of look back and reflect on what could be done better for on your end as a driver. Maybe it's time to start collecting information from your passengers to be a personal driver if you want. But if you want to continue being a rideshare driver under these platforms, you're going to get a big, huge headache. Continue to complain about the companies that you contract with. And in the end of the day, if they do owe you, they owe you. Get them. Get Uber and Lyft for what they owe you. At the same time, if you have an offer that's coming to you, you do not have to accept it. Don't accept it expecting the customer to tip you. That's another thing too for 2024. The idea is coming around the block. The European standard. I know this is coming down here, and they're not going to tip you. And on top of that, the economy doesn't help with that. So people be thinking, oh, they deserve a tip. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that at all. Let me check something real quick. 603. All right, I gotta go get out of here real quick because I don't want to pay for the parking fee here in Brickell. But it doesn't work like that. So what I'll say to you guys for this year, good blessings to you. Do not buy a car for Uber. Please don't buy a car for Uber or Lyft. If you're gonna buy a car that you like, and if you want to drive on the weekends with it, that's you. But don't buy a car specifically for Uber, because the way that they're doing this, they're connecting with taxi, connecting with Waymo. Lyft is connecting with all these other self-driving companies to use their platforms to bring people around. Again, look how they treat you, even through the customer service lines, the consensus. We have not heard the CEO of Uber loud and clear. He's not loud about the drivers, nor is the Lyft CEO. He's done some few things that I've seen here and there, which I'm proud of. He's talking to Sergio from the RideShare guy. I think that's honorable because he doesn't have to talk to Sergio, but he is Lyft CEO is. But I will say, still him too. Is he yelling and said, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do for the drivers"? It's not happening. It's been like that for years. They report to the investors, not the drivers. The drivers, yes, we drive, but the ones that provide the money and all that for the industry itself, the rich folk, the wealthy folk, they adhere to their demands. So, with that being said, on a positive note, great job for the week. Great job for the new year. I'm sorry, for the New Year's. You guys literally have saved a lot of people's lives from DUI, from all this other mess. You drive every single day. You're out there taking me from A to B safely, and that needs to be called upon. And I hope for 2024, you guys continue making your money. And again, don't let these companies get in your head. So with that being said, have a good day, guys. I will catch you later. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. So I don't have to pay this ticket. Well, the parking ticket thing. All right, goodbye. Peace.